Hello and welcome to our first session of the series of Campervan lectures, where I will give you some input concerning the science of social media. If you're curious where I am, I'll record a quick extra video for your curiosity. But now for science. First, today, we need to go through the topics that we will be discussing in this class. So, next session, we will be discussing digital media and social media. I will record a lecture of what media are in general first, and then I will progress later on in the week to the specifics of digital media and what that means for media communication, and more specifically social media. Huge thing, and it'll be basically the ground for our entire seminar, because our seminar will be studying social media. On our third session, we will be talking about different attitudes and expectations towards social media and digitalization of communication in general. Basically, there's the people who are optimistic and the people who are pessimistic about these developments. Those who believe that this is a good thing and that it'll be good for us, and those who are doubtful about that and rather tend to expect bad things from digitalization of our communication. Obviously, the result will be some of both, but the important thing is to position yourself and to understand how you feel about this yourself, and to be a bit aware of the kind of bias of your expectations. So on our fourth session, we will be talking about interaction and identity in a digital environment. And social media are so central for how you express yourself, how you create yourself online. And maybe you'll remember our discussion of symbolic interactionism in sociology class, and Irving Goffman, who talked about how we put ourselves in scene, how it's called the dramaturgical approach, how we enact our identities. Well, in the digital age, this might be radicalized to the extreme. Think about it. In our fifth session, we will be talking about kind of expanding this from the individual to larger networks of communities, and we'll be talking about how digitization not only isolates people and is a nurturer of solitude and loneliness, but also can help support communities and the getting together of people. On our sixth session, we're almost halfway through, we will be talking about the importance of visuality and how seeing and being seen is so central for what the meaning of the content we consume and create on social media actually means, how meaningful it is, how impactful it is, how it influences us emotionally, and so on and so forth. So we've been talking about this a bit in our mass media and digital context class last year, but this will be interesting because it's going to expand on these aspects with concrete respect to social media. On our seventh session, half-time, we will go deeper, and we'll already have touched that on the session before, about how emotional impact is so important in social media. So and in general in digital environments, it's such a strong manipulator, and it's such an easy and strong access to our feelings, that sometimes it's actually quite scary. This has, commercial aspects, has political aspects, and it's pretty important. We'll be discussing that in depth. On our 8th session, we will be moving on to an even broader generality of how we look at social media, and a more political context. We'll be talking about digital citizenship, how social media play a part in how we are citizens, how we are politically administered, but also how we self-organize. So moving on to session 8, I believe it is now, it will be then to be discussed how power and also exploitation can play a role with digital media, and specifically social media as a platform of exploitation, as a platform of manipulation, of vertical. Not only so, we have like the empowerment side on the session before, talking about digital citizenship, self-organization. We are talking about the top-down perspective of powers exerting power through and with the help of social media, to a different extent in different countries, but very noticeably so. And then in session 10, if I'm not mistaken, we will be talking about political self-organization, digital activism, and how social media are used as a tool of grassroots movements to self-organize and to develop political impact. So that's going to be important. In session 11 then, and the following, we turn to more awareness for the methodological aspects of our topic. This is important because we are also moving towards the next semester then already, and we want to be kind of primed for the more attention we'll be paying for methodological aspects of social media research, because we'll be having to do that. So there you have it. We will be first looking into digital ethnography, which I think is extremely interesting, and it's an ongoing development where there's new developments every year of how you can actually do things like participant observation in social media. Very interesting topic. How do social media modify the way we have interviews, questions like that. Very fascinating. But then we also want to have a look at the quantitative side of things, and some of you might want to or are leaning towards a more quantitatively oriented study. And in that case, we want to be more aware of the quantitative side of social media. So we'll have 2 sessions about big data, one discussing what big data are in general, and why and how that is important. It's very important for social media. And then a second, and that'll be our last session of content, where we take a critical look at the implications of this. In both sessions, we will be adding in information and discussion about artificial intelligence, an important issue in these days, very, very acute. Now, all these topics you will find discussed very nicely in our textbook, Simon Lindgren, Digital Media and Society. It's only 2 years old. It's pretty up to date. I think it's a really good and also fun book. You will remember where to find it. You can buy it too. I would even recommend it because it's a good book and it's a good basis for all our discussions. So I will expect you to read the respective chapters before every respective session, and you will find the plan of sessions in the syllabus, so that should not be a problem for you to prepare. Please make sure that you've done the reading. Please make sure that you listen to these videos, and then we'll have really good discussions in class, I expect. So see you there. Bye bye.